Back to Savvy Serena. Today we are making a chocolate mousse. You're going to need at least 2 cups of milk, an 8-ounce package of Cool Whip, need a package of instant chocolate fudge jello or chocolate jello. I need this much chocolate, but I just bought a giant chocolate bar to make sure I had enough chocolate. Or sprinkles. In my recipe today, or doubling it at least, but you want 1 package of the Jell-O pudding, and you want to do it by your instructions, which is what, like 2 cups of milk per package. You need 1 package of your chocolate pudding, cups of milk, now whisk together. Good, and whisk it. Whisked. This is the way it should look, just like you would pudding. Shouldn't be no lumps. It shouldn't sound gritty. Put this in the fridge and I'm going to let it set up a little bit, because your Cool Whip has got to be at room temperature, and when you buy it, it's in the frozen section, and so it's got to be a little bit cooler so I can add it. So I'm going to let this go ahead and get firm first. So this has been sitting in the refrigerator for a couple of hours, and so as you can see, it's then got pretty firm, as you can see. So now what I'm going to do, remember I doubled this recipe. So now I'm going to add my Cool Whip. And I'm just going to pile it on top. You wouldn't use this big of a container. If you're only using 1 package of pudding, you only need 1 8-ounce container of Cool Whip. But I wasn't sure how much this bowl would hold. And then, once you've gotten all that in there, you want to begin to fold, which I guess I'll use my spoon. You want to fold this all together. You want to make sure that Cool Whip is soft enough. I had to leave it out on the counter and kind of defrost because it was in the freezer. And you just want to keep folding it until you incorporate the chocolate pudding in with the Cool Whip. So I'm going to speed it up. Say something while I'm folding this together. If you've ever made an actual chocolate mousse, it's done similar, but it's not done with pudding. They actually take milk or like a heavy cream and eggs and stuff, and they warm it up with sugar, and then they add chocolate chunks to it and melt it in it. Then they get it in the refrigerator and they let it get really firm, and then once it gets firm, they mix the whipping cream and this together. It makes a much lighter dessert by adding the Cool Whip. So if you're wanting something light, this is great for that. I'm going to switch spoons here. And make sure I'm getting all that pudding on the bottom, and I'm not leaving any of it because I'm seeing dark streaks. Oh, yep. Because you don't want dark streaks in it. You want it all the same color. Now I will say this, it is not as it is not nearly as rich as a mousse. If you've ever actually tasted a chocolate mousse, it's not quite as rich. And I think we're there. I'm not pulling up any more dark chocolate. It's like a milk chocolate now. So let me clean my bowl up and I'll come back. In order for me to smooth this out, I just took the end of my rubber spatula and then went around it like this until I smoothed it out and came all the way around to the center. Just got a paper plate and a potato peeler. And I stuck this in the freezer for a minute because it was getting a little soft and I wanted it to be extremely hard. This is like 3 bars of Hershey chocolate from a giant chocolate bar. And I may have to stick it back in the freezer. But it's making little curls and chips. And that's what I'm going to put on top of it. You can also do sprinkles. When I used to do it on the individual cups, I used to use sprinkles, but the chocolate's got to be extremely hard in order for this to work. I notice you can get like the ribbons now that it's not so hard. So whatever way you want to do it, if you want the little chips, it'll make, see, some of these are ribbons, some of them are breaking. Now I'm just going to take those and sprinkle these on top. You could do the same thing with sprinkles. And there is your chocolate mousse. I hope you enjoy it. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe. Y'all come back now. You hear?